Hello, hello, hello. In this particular live training, I'm going to walk you through three key things. Number one is you being able to create a blueprint for year 2020. Number two is that you are going to be able to create your goals for the new year. And number three is that you'll be able to turn these goals into avenues for growth. And that is why this is called Goals to Growth. And this is a mastery session. And by mastery session, I'm referring to the fact that every single month, I'm going to come on live like this and go deep into a particular topic that you and I are going to walk through and going to walk through as well. So today is the first of these mastery sessions here, and I hope that you are going to get a lot of value from this particular session. Now, in case you're just getting to meet me, I am Dayo Samuel, and this is my channel. Every week, I bring to you content that helps you make money. Every week I bring to you content that help you make more money with less stress, less fear, and less anxiety. And for this particular mastery session, today we are looking at goals to growth. So if you are just joining me, I want to say you are very welcome. Let me play to you a very short video. Amazing. So now that we are live, I just want to check around to see if there are any other persons who is here and can join us live. So if you're joining us live, please drop a comment to let me know that you are here. Let me know that you are here. Let me know that you are here and that you can see me and you can hear me. Now my device here is telling me that my internet connection is unstable, but I believe that that is going to be resolved in a little while. So let's talk about the first key thing that I need to actually let you know in this particular mastery session. Now, typically when people come for mastery sessions just like this, there are basically 5 kinds of people that I usually have in these type of classes. Number one type of people are the people I refer to as spectators, and they are basically just here because they want to watch what is going on. They are basically here because they want to look at who is this guy, what is he doing, or what is going on here. That is basically the reason why they join mastery sessions like this. And talking about mastery sessions, I've done them practically in diverse ways, offline majority of the times, but I am decided that okay, I want to bring it online so that some people can actually enjoy these mastery sessions, because this is the live, deep practical sessions that I usually have with clients, with students in different categories, in different programs that I hold. Now, the first kind of people that usually come for this kind of mastery session are people I call spectators. And spectators are basically people who watch things happen. They are there because they want to watch you do what you are doing. So they basically just come around and say that, okay, let's see what this guy wants to do. And so I call them spectators. That is number one category. They are called spectators. Now, I might want to move this a little closer so you can begin to see the things that I write on my board, and I hope that it's a lot clearer now. Let me get my markers closer to me. Okay, so number 2 category of people I have is what I call stylists. And stylists are people who basically just tag along. They join classes like this because a friend of theirs is basically attending a class like this, or maybe a friend of theirs invited them to a session like this. So they only came because they are tagging along. They just want to follow others to do what others are doing. They are not really involved. They just want to just watch what others are doing. Now, I need to confirm that this live stream is going on, but I'm going to get to that shortly. The number 3 type of people that come to this kind of live session is what I call starters. And starters are basically people who come for sessions like this, and all they want to do is just start it because they know that before it gets to the middle or it gets to the end, they are going to drop off and go their own way. And I hope that you are not that kind of person. I hope that you are not that kind of person who just wants to start things. And then there are those are called stoppers. So their own is to, when this person starts, theirs is to stop. That is, they are fond of stopping things in the middle. So they basically just cut things off in the middle and then just move on to something else, and whether it works out or not. And if you remember when I was doing this, when I was in the form that you filled to attend this particular session, I asked if you are the type of person who gives up on things, and a lot of you actually answer all kinds of questions. And now I'm trying to figure out something here. I can't see how to figure it out. I can't see how to figure it out. So some persons are asking question in the group. So let me just see how I can quickly send them a message so that they don't get to miss this. So I'm trying to see, just to cross-check. So just to cross-check so that people don't get to miss this, and because right on my own device here, I can see that there's a live stream going on. Others are saying that they can't see a live stream, and I hope that they are able to finally find the live stream. I hope you are able to find the live stream. Now, while you are doing that, let me flip my camera and then try and look at my, let me try and flip my camera to the other side and see if I can find the live stream so that it doesn't go without people being able to join. So let me see right here if my live stream is showing. So let me see if my live stream is showing. Hopefully I'm able to sort that out shortly. So let me quickly see if I can get, okay, so good. So I'm trying to check the live stream now. If it's not going, I can simply end it and start all over again so that others can join, so that it doesn't get to be like I'm the only one speaking to myself. And from here, I can see that 3 persons are watching, and hopefully, if you can see me and if you can hear me, just please leave a comment if you can see me and if you can hear me, please leave a comment so that I know that you can see me and that you can hear me. So please leave a comment. Okay, so from what I'm seeing here, it already shows that we are live and that people can actually partake. So let me just drop it inside the group so that people can actually join. So let me just drop this. So I can see that people are actually watching. So if you're watching, please leave a comment. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can see me. So once that is done, I hope that all of that. Okay, so this one is already saying that it is live. I can see that everything is live here. I can see that everything is live here, so hopefully they get to see. Yep, so I'm back on your screen, and so if you can see me, please leave a comment. Let me know that you can see me. Let me know that you can hear me, so that I'm not just doing this for myself. And so good. As I mentioned, this is a practical session. The goal is not to do so much of teaching, and that is why I'm doing this live and also doing it much more as a training format so that you can actually do it with me. And then, so I was talking about the 5 categories of people. The last category is what I call achievers. So achievers are basically the people who see things to an end. They are the type of persons who actually get something to the end. They don't just, unlike starters, they don't just start and stop, but they actually see things to the end. So they are not spectators who just come to watch things happen. They are not just stylists who come because some other persons have come to that particular program or to a class like this, but they are actually there because they have come for themselves. They have come because they want to actually make things happen for themselves. So if that is you, comment down below, let me know that you can hear me, let me know that you can join me. And if you are watching this as a replay, please understand that while I am live, I'm also trying to test out some things here so I can actually make this a very, very, very pretty experience for everybody involved. Now, because I switched camera and turned things to the back, now I'm not seeing everything clearly initially. So while we are at, let's just have this on the screen while I quickly get to do something. Okay, so TJ Chunu, Olarewaju, Olakunmi Balogun, Bemileke Adeoti, Irabo Stella, I can see all of you. Thank you for leaving comments down below so that I can see that you are actually watching. Thank you very much. Now, you may think that this is not showing. It's actually showing. I'm the one that put something on the screen here so that it can actually, let me be able to monitor what's going on. So nothing is bad. Everything is working fine. I've only just put something on the screen so that I can hear and so that I can actually see the screen. So thank you very much. Okay, so let's continue the Okay, so I am back on your screen. Amazing. So let's quickly discuss something very, very important. Now, I don't know why my device keeps telling me that my internet connection is unstable, but I hope that you can actually follow along. Now, before you joined this live stream, I've already talked about the fact that the reason why I'm doing mastery session is because I want to be able to do a deep dive into specific themes that I cover on my channel every month. So every month I want to go deep into a particular theme, into a particular topic that I may not have been able to cover in depth on my in the videos that I release. So mastery sessions are more of the sessions where you get to master something. And for those who are interested in working at a deeper level with me, you are very, very welcome to do that. And with that, I think we can now get into talking about 3 kinds of goals. So let's quickly talk about the 3 kinds of goals that exist. Okay, I can still see the comments. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. So let's talk about the three kinds of goals that exist. And I want you to be able to understand that everything I'm sharing here is basically free. I'm not charging you for anything, not because I don't want to charge you, but because I just want to do this as more of a gift to you this Christmas season. More like a gift to you this Christmas season. So thank you very much for joining me. I do not take it for granted. If you are saying black and white, everything is going up and down, just understand with me that I'm here to get this perfect setting for what I am using. So amazing. So let's talk about the three kinds of goals that exist. And well, if you have seen me do trainings before, you understand that I am a very, very visual type of person. I like to do a lot of drawings, a lot of illustrations and all that. So let's talk about three kinds of goals that exist. And I would like to use this as what you can use to easily understand what I want to share with you here. So first of all, there's the okay, that's not clear on that screen because I want everything to be visible, clear enough for you to be able to see them. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, so there are three levels of goals. At the first level is the goals of having. This is the goal of you trying to acquire things. This is the goal where you set where the goal is for you to have something, is for you to acquire something. And basically these type of goals usually focus on what I call survival. And the essence of this type of goals is so that you can have the things that you need for your everyday life, so that you can have the things that you need in order for you to enjoy the kind of life that you want to enjoy. So we could give examples of these survival type of things as you want a house, you want a car, you want a job, you want money, you want let's say a wife but a wife should not belong in this category anyway, but you want things like this. But then, when we come to the second level, the second level of goal that exists is what we call the do level. This is the level where you get to doing something. Usually, this comes to the level of what I call success goals. And success goals like this usually are things like, okay, so let's say you have a house. You want to have a bigger house so that you can appear to be successful. You want to have a bigger car so that you can appear to be rich, wealthy, or whatever. Or you want to have even a bigger job, a job that pays you even more because you want to have, well, just whatever it is you want to have. Or it could be that you want to even make more money. That is, the money you are currently making is not sufficient. It's no longer sufficient for you to do the things you want to do. And so you need to make more money. This is what I call the success goals. And this usually happens to be where you begin to focus on the things you need to do, the things you need to do in order to have more, the things you need to do in order to have more. But then we get to this third level, which is the level I call, I need to confirm that this is the correct, okay, good. So we get to this third level, which is the level I call the B type of goals. And when we talk about B type of goals, we are basically focusing on significance type of goals. Goals that focus on significance. Goals that focus on you being significant. So this is the type of goal where you focus on your mental development, your intellectual development, your personal development, your growth, your all-around wellness. And if you are the type of person who's in business, this usually is often left unattended to, because of course majority of us, when we get into business, we get into business because we want to make money. So we start off at this level, we get into business because we want to make money. Then very soon we begin to discover that there are all other things, a lot of other things that we need to also have, or we need to also do in order for us to have a better business. And so I need you to understand that when we are talking about goals, there are basically three levels. You can have survival goals, which is for you to have things so that you can live a life that you want to live. Second level is the level of success goals, which is the level where you begin to look, whatever it is you have at this survival level, the goal now is to make it bigger, 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 bigger. And then at the third level, which is the significance goal, is a goal where you begin to look at you developing, you growing, you expanding your frame of reference, expanding whatever it is you feel you are, whatever level it is you feel you are in your current life experience. And I hope that you are able to understand this. If you understand this very well, please leave a comment down below and type understood, so that I can know that you actually understand what I've explained so far. Just type understood in the comments so that I know that you are getting me. Normally, this is supposed to be, the comments are supposed to be showing on my screen here, but since they are not showing on my screen here, I'm looking at it on a second screen. So let me jump over to the second screen, and while doing that, let this be on the screen. Okay, thank you, Olarewaju. I can see Max Israel Mayokun. Thank you. I can see all the comments coming in now. So very good. Thank you. Okay, so moving forward from here now. Let's now get into something a little more specific. Of course, I told you before now, you should come to this live training with your, material, so that you can actually do the work. I mentioned to you that my goal is not to teach. The only teaching part that I needed to do is what I've just done now. So all that is left is for me to walk you through everything you need in order for you to actually create the kind of goals that will motivate you and help you achieve them in 2020. So let's get to do that. Let's get to do that. And for us to start, I need you to create, I want you to create a circle. Now, for those of you who might be interested in a more personal work, of course, there is a program that I am just kicking off called Leverage for Leaders. It's a mastermind program. So it's basically for those who want to actually lead their lives and businesses in the direction that matter to them. More importantly, those who want to play a bigger game in the coming year. Anyway, I'll talk about that later on. So what I want you to do right about now is let's create your life dimensions. Now, if you're wondering what am I looking at, I'm actually looking at my notes, because I actually noted some of the things that I'll be walking you through. So let's look at your life dimensions. And this is a tool that I learned from coaching when I was doing life coaching. So I want you to draw a big circle on your paper and want to look at your life dimensions. You want to look at your own life from your own perspective. So let me drop this a little so that the board is even clearer. So what you want to do is you want to draw a circle as big as this, and you want to have a center, and then you want to divide the circle into 12 different parts. So you want to divide the circle into 12 different parts. Now I've drawn a cross, so you want to go like this, and then go like this. You want to go like this, and then go like this. Once you do that, you will have 12. Actually, this is so let's say we start from here. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's that simple. So please draw that big enough on your paper. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to gradate them. So you want to gradate them with 4 marks like this. So here you want to write 2. Here you want to write 4. Here you want to write 8, 6. And then you want to write 8. And here you have 10. So that means automatically the center is what? 0. So have 0 here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And what you want to do is, I'm going to be reading out, I'm going to mention 12 dimensions of your life that you actually need to pay attention to. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of people set goals in a vacuum. So they basically look at the coming year. They look at let's say 2020, for example. They look at 2020 and say, I want to make more money. And so when they say I want to make more money, their relationship, their family, their intellectual life, the several other dimensions of their lives are left alone. And those other parts that are left alone, they now begin to wane, they begin to kind of die down. And so you find people who succeed very much in business, but do poorly in their family life. You find people who succeed very much perhaps in their family life, but then they are very, very poor. You find people who succeed very, very well in their social life, but they are very, very poor when it comes to finances. So, or you even find people who are very, very, how should I say now, they have very big career, doing very well, but you find that the quality of life is very, very low. So that's the reason why I'm helping you through this. So I want you right now to now begin to actually label them, and to label them one after the other. And I hope that you can see my board clearly. So if you can see my board clearly, just type in the comments below that yes, you can see it. So type below that yes, you can see my comments. Let me know that you can see my comments down below. So let me know that you can see my comment down below. I'm trying to check right now for comments so that I don't get to miss anyone's comment. So let me know down below that you can see my board. Okay, good. Good. So I can see. So good. So I think that is cool enough. So first thing you want to do is you want to label your diagram. You want to label your circle, these 12 life dimensions. You want to label the first one, health and fitness. Second is intellectual. Third, so here you want to have health and fitness, intellectual. Then you have emotional. You want to have character. You want to have spiritual as number 4. So I'm going to be reading out the list for you. So first is health and fitness. Second is intellectual. Third is emotional. Fourth is character. Fifth is spiritual. Number 6 is love and relationships. And then 7 is parenting. And don't be disturbed if you think, what's this guy saying about parenting? Just wait first. Number 8 is social. Number 9 is career. Number 10 is financial. Number 11 is quality of life. And number 12 is life vision. So look through everything, label them appropriately. And then what you want to do is you want to, okay, good. You can see the diagram. Good. So what you want to now do is you want to label them. After labeling them, you want to now ask yourself, how fulfilled, how satisfied, how well have I done in this particular area of my life in 2019? So if it is in your health and fitness, do you have the kind of body you really want to have? Do you have the kind of how is your health? What's your health been like? So in my own case, my health will probably be around 8. You know why? Because 2018, most especially 2017, I was practically getting down almost every month due to one illness or the other. And so 2018 was more of a discovery moment for me. So I began to focus on my health and ensure that I stopped eating certain things. I started doing certain things well. I changed a lot of routines, changed a lot of things I was eating. More importantly, the biggest part of it was actually that I changed the water that I was drinking. And that basically stopped majority of the illnesses that I was experiencing. So that's the first thing you want to do. Health and fitness. How well have you done this 2019? How well have you done in this area? Then look at your intellectual life. How well have you grown intellectually this 2019? Did you read as many books that helped you to grow, or you were just basically scrolling through social media and thinking that you are reading when you go on social media. So you need to ask yourself, what's your intellectual level? How fulfilled are you intellectually this 2019? And so what you want to do is you want to start rating yourself. So if intellectually you say that, okay, I spent more time on social media 2019 than reading my books, then you want to mark yourself as maybe 2 or 3. And the good part is that you can have 3, 5, 7, 9. You can have any of those ratings. So I want you to do that right about now. And then look at the third category, which is your emotional. Look at your category, which is the emotion. I think somebody is asking a question. Maybe I should even bring this. Okay, let me go through all the numbers again. Number 1 is health and fitness. Number 2 is intellectual. Number 3 is emotional. Number 4 is character. Number 5, spiritual. Number 6, love relationships. Number 7 is parenting. Number 8 is social. Number 9 is career. Number 10 is financial. Number 11 is quality of life. And number 12 is life vision. Now, anyway, this is what I wanted to say. Usually, what I start from is the life vision, because I usually get people to, first of all, I ask them, what is your overall vision for your life? What are you looking to actually have at the end of your life? What kind of legacy are you looking to leave behind? So, for example, in my book, Limitless Courage and Confidence, in one particular chapter, I think that should be about chapter 12 or chapter 11, I talk about accepting the future. That's because life vision played out even in the book. Do you get it now? So life vision is one thing that I usually get people to do. But of course, this class is not for life vision, so I can't go into that. But what life vision basically means is that if you look at your life 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, how much of clarity do you have in that area? Do you have enough clarity to know that, okay, 5 years from now, I know what I'm going to be doing with my life? Or let's say next year, 2020, I even know what I'm going to be doing with my life. That's where life vision comes in. So I hope that I've explained life vision. So life vision will probably come here on this. So life vision will be here. Life vision will be here. And you want to rank yourself. How much of clarity do you have when you consider your life vision? So if you are not clear, you can put it around 2. If you are to some extent clear, you can put it maybe from 4, 6, 8. It all depends on you. You are the one. This paper, nobody is going to look at it. It's just for you. So do that right about now. So number 1 is health and fitness. Number 2 is intellectual. Number 3 is emotional. Number 4 is character. Number 5 is spiritual. Number 6 is love relationships. Number 7 is parenting. Number 8 is social. Number 9 is career. Number 10 is financial or finances. And number 10 is quality of life. And number 11 is quality of life. Number 12 is life vision. So if you got that, please go ahead and fill out this and then rate yourself. How well have I done this 2019? Emotionally, how balanced emotionally were you 2019? How in your character, what's your character level compared with the character that you want to have? What has that been like in 2019? Then in your spiritual life, of course, this area will be spiritual. So this area will be spiritual. And then here you have love. And here you have parenting. So I hope it's clear enough for you to see. So if you can see it, just let me know. So while I'm waiting on you, let me put this up on my screen here. And my hand is moving it everywhere now. Okay, so somebody saying that, can I take them again? Okay, first is you have number 1 is intellect. Number 1 is health and fitness. Number 2 is intellectual. Number 3 is emotional. Number 4 is character. Number 5 is spiritual. Number 6 is love and relationships. Number 7 is parenting. Number 8 is your social life. Number 9 is career. Number 10 is financial. And number 11 is quality of life. And number 12 is life vision. So hope you got it now. And I hope you got it now. So if you got it, say yes that you got it. If you've gotten it, so if you've done that assessment for yourself, please comment below. Let me know that you've done that already. So comment below, leave a comment down below. So let me know that you've done that. Okay, you say you can't see them. You don't have to see them actually. You just need to work out this yourself. So just draw a circle like this. Divide the circle into 12. You can follow my pattern here. Divide the circle into 12. Then label the circle using those numbers. Now, just put a mark to them. And once you have done that, the next thing you will want to do will now be to do, so let's say here you have 7, here you have 3, here you have, in your spiritual life, let's say you have 10. You grew very much spiritually. In your love, that is in your relationship with your significant other, you did very well. Or maybe you got into a relationship that you really wanted. You have maybe, let's say, 9. If you are not in a relationship, you can put yourself on 2 or 3 or 1 or 0. And then when it comes to parenting, let's say as a parent, of course, well, I'm a new parent anyway, so I can't rate myself very well yet. But when it comes to parenting, if you're not parenting a child, if you have people who look up to you as a mentor, that is some form of parenting. So you might also want to look at that and rate yourself accordingly. So the next category is social. Well, socially, I didn't do well this year. Personally, that is Dayo Samuel now. I didn't do well socially this year. I originally planned that I was going to go out a lot this year. But then, plans changed, so I didn't travel as much as I wanted to travel. I didn't go out as much as I wanted to. And that's because I had to focus on what is more important to me as Dayo Samuel rather than going out. So, but it didn't really suffer because even this Saturday I'll still be going out. I'll still be at an event this Saturday. So career, well, I did well when it comes to career. Financial, well, I'm going to rank myself as 8 when it comes to financial. Quality of life, I'm going to rank myself as 8. Then life vision, I think I'm going to rank myself as 9. Do you get that? So with that done, what I will now do next, which I also expect you to do, will be to now connect all these shapes, all these spots together. So just connect them together. Just connect them like this. Just connect them one after the other. Just connect them. And then let me see, or look at what you have in your paper. You just connect them one after the other like that. And then have this set, because this is what's going to determine the kind of goals you are actually going to set for 2020. And if you remember earlier on, I said most people set goals in vacuum. So they basically just look at parenting. They say, I want to be a better parent next year. Or they look at their life vision. I want to find purpose. I want to find my life purpose next year. So 2020, my purpose must be clear. So if that is what you want to do, well, that's life vision. So you need to also look at that. So if you focus on life vision at the expense of love, that is, you are so carried away by a vision you want to have for your life, a vision you want to fulfill in your lifetime, but you leave out relationship, which interestingly is on the opposite to wrong. So what you get to find is that you have people, or you find that you personally, or maybe let me not personalize it to you, you find people who are very passionate with their life vision, but when it comes to finances, they are very, very broke. So they don't have the money to fund even the life vision that they want to live. Interestingly, your quality of life is basically, if you look at your environment right now, you look at your environment, the environment you live in, the kind of house you live in, the kind of things you have in your house, the kind of gadgets, maybe your clothes, everything you need for your life to be qualitative. That's what quality of life means. So you want to look at that. Maybe your devices that you use, are you using the kind of things you truly wish you could use? That's what quality of life means. And for financial, my recommendation when I usually work with clients, what I usually recommend to them is never compare yourself with Dangote. You can't compare your finances with that of Dangote. In fact, it's going to be fatal failure for you to be doing that, because, or you want to compare yours with Bill Gates, you can't be doing that. So, right, in comparison with what you set out to make this year, how well did you do? So next year, you are going to, well, anyway, I'm going to get to that. So you want to look at how well have you done financially this year, this 2019. And then you want to look at, okay, your career, for example, did you get the kind of business you wanted to get? Did you get to start the career of your dreams this year? Or you were just everywhere, just doing something that, like I used to say, anywhere belefice is what you are doing. So you need to identify that. The next is love and relationship. Did you get to the relationship you dreamed of? Did you get into the kind of relationship that supports your dream? Do you have the kind of, and now that is even crossing to number 8, which is social. Do you have the kind of social circles that help you become more of a person your life vision wants you to become? So you will see that when you do something like this, you're actually looking at your life comprehensively. So you are not just looking at your health and picking a goal, saying that you want to set a goal for your health, and then your intellectual life is haphazard. So I hope you get that. So I'm going to pause here and try to look at all the questions that you have asked so far, and as well also try to see how I can answer your questions going forward. Oh, so I just, in case you are saying white screen, it's because I'm trying to do something on my screen. So don't be dismayed. It's just white screen. So, so good. So this is this here. So okay, so let me put that back on the screen while I look at all the questions. Okay, so I've answered your question. How do we grade parenting if we don't have kids? As I explained earlier on, if you don't have kids, look at the people you parent. So, for example, you could be parenting, you could be a mentor to people, you could be somebody that people look up to. That will be a way to grade yourself. Like, okay, the people who look up to me, the people who, maybe my siblings, or maybe the people in my circles who look up to me, whether as a mentor, as somebody, as a role model, how well did I treat them this year? How well did I do that this year? Do you get it now? So that's what you will look at for grading your parenting. So I hope I've answered your question now. I hope I've answered your question now. I hope I've been able to answer questions related to that. So if you are done, please type that you're done so that I know that you are done. So if you are done, once you are done, just type done so that I know that you are done. Just type done and let me know that you are done. Okay, Rabostella, you said got it. Thank you. Okay, Olarewaju, you said yes. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so Alakumi, done. Olarewaju, done. Amazing. So now, let me get back to my screen. And so far, I hope this is meaningful to you. I hope this is not just like I'm wasting your time. So if this is meaningful to you, please let me know also in the comments. Let me know also in the comments that this is meaningful to you to some extent. Okay, so I'm back on your screen. Amazing. So I'm back on your screen. Okay, so now that you have this, you can now ask yourself, which parts of this do you really need to work on in 2020? Did you grow so much in your character that your health was nothing to write home about? Did you grow so much in your love relationship, and then your intellectual was nothing to write home about. Perhaps maybe you focus so much on social and some other parts were left missing. So this is where you actually look at it and say, okay, I have grown in this area. Now for 2020, I need to find other areas that I'm going to focus on. Usually what I recommend is over the space of a 90-day period, the best is to pick just 3 categories and focus on those 3 categories for a 90-day period. Now, for me, that is what has worked for me. And because I understand the human brain, it is easy for us to be distracted by a lot of things. So if you say, my intellectual life, I did not grow. My character, I did not, or my character did not grow. My parenting, I did not grow. So next year, I want to focus on 5 things. I can tell you, understanding how the human brain works, you are going to be distracted and you wouldn't even do so much. So what I want you to do right now is to look at 3 that you find that is the lowest, where you didn't grow so much this 2019, and that is what you want to focus on for just the next 90 days, which is going to be January, February, and then March. Now, this is what you are now going to, look at this. Which 3 areas can I focus for the month of January, February, and March? So go ahead and write that down in your own. Okay, so Ibuku Kamalafe says, I love this. It's all encompassing and balanced. But my question is, won't it be overwhelming if you focus on achieving all goals in these 12 areas? Just as I explained, you wouldn't need to focus on all of them all at once. You will basically just focus on 1, 2, 3 areas max for just a 90-day period. So January, February, and March, which 3 areas do you want to focus on for the next 90 days? That is how to actually look at it. So rather than focus on everything all at once, which is going to make you feel very, very overwhelmed, focus on just the key areas that you need to grow in for 2020, for at least for January, February, March of 2020. Those are the 3 areas you need to pick right now. So do that. Okay, so once you have done that, now we can go ahead to the more interesting goal setting part. Now we can now focus on the interesting goal setting part. So I hope that having done that, I can now clean this from my board. So if I can clean this from my board, just please comment down below so that I can go ahead and clean this from my board. Now, again, I'm going to recommend that you actually okay, so in case you are wondering what is this on my screen, well, the goal is so that I am able to draw, so that I'm able to scribble things down for you. So right about now, what you want to do is you want to, okay, before I go ahead with that, let me first of all check my comments so that I know that, okay, Naomi, you said you missed vital parts due to network issues. Sorry about that, but I hope that you are able to quickly catch up. So pick a part that you want to focus on. Now, I'm going to go ahead and clean this off from my board, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean this off from my board. So now that you have picked the key areas you want to focus on, you want to just focus on those 3 key areas for the month of January, February, and March. Now, this is where the goal setting actually now comes in. Some of you may already know that I am not a fan of SMART goals. And I'm saying this because I need you to understand that when I decided to study how SMART goals came about, I found out SMART goals was actually developed by somebody who was trying to create what is called organizational objective. So what organizational objective means is that you are trying to set the direction for an organization. That is, my organization will need to focus on so and so thing for the space of time. So the same way I used January, February, March for you right now, SMART goals were basically created for, okay, let's say we want to set objectives for the next 1 year. This is the area we want to drive at. So when I say it's going to be specific, it's going to be measurable, it's going to be achievable, it's going to be realistic, it's going to be time-based. So it's going to be 1 year. It's going to be, is it realistic? Yes. Is it achievable? Yes. Is it measurable? How do we count it? So we want to look at milestones, and then it is specific. So this was the original design. It was meant to focus on organizations, not individuals. It was meant to focus on organizations, how organizations set management objectives. So I found that, because I actually looked at a lot of discussions around this, a lot of people were arguing that it is still working, it can still work for goals. Of course, somebody picked it up and created a book based on this and wrote a book that how to set smart goals and all that. And so people started applying it to goals. But you find that when you set goals like this, you practically have no plan of achieving it. So it's basically, you just write your specific goal, you write down the milestone. Is it measurable? Yes, you create the milestones. Achievable? Yes. Is it realistic? Yes. And then what is the time that you will achieve it? You write all of that down. But you find out that this does not include any plan of achievement. So you find that a lot of people actually create goals, and by the time they set for that goal comes, they find that they have not actually achieved anything. Why? Because this is not a model for you to use personally. It was used for as a let me explain it this way. Like, you are creating an objective for something, not yourself. So that is what this was originally designed for. So I needed to clarify that, because in this particular mastery session, this goals to growth mastery session, we are not going to be using SMART goals. In fact, if SMART goal is what you want to use, I think you can actually stop this particular live session right now and just go your way and work with your SMART goals. But if you really want to create goals that you can accomplish, then you should please pay attention to what I'm about to share with you next. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, for those of you who will like more of accountability, who will like more of getting into a mastermind where you are able to work with a tiny group of people who have your best interest at heart, I'm going to give you the chance to actually join what I call Leverage for Leaders. And this is a 6 months. Is this 6 months? I need to actually confirm. Okay, it's actually a 7 months plan. It's actually a 7 months mastermind where you and a tiny set of people can actually get together every week to work on your goals. So it means that even after you set these goals here, you can actually join the Leverage for Leaders, and every month we walk through, every week rather, we get on a Zoom training, on a Zoom call, you, myself, and just the tiny number of persons who are going to be part of this. Is actually a close mastermind, and we look at your goals, we look at what you have done so far, and then we help you develop plans, develop strategies so that you can actually move towards the goal. So every week you get accountability. For the 7 months that we are going to be together, it's going to be 7. We are going to focus on 7 focus areas. So that means that every month you have one focus area that you want to develop fully. Then we have Q&A sessions, we have private workshops. I am going to provide professional support as a professional coach and a therapist. Then you are going to also be able to multiply your performance. You are going to handle distractions, helping you to focus, helping you to amplify your productivity, and then more importantly, to help you overcome stuckness. You know, when you get to set goals and you are stuck, you don't know what else to do because there's nobody who is supporting you. So we are going to provide all of that. So there's weekly mastermind for that. But of course, I'm going to talk more about that at the end of this particular session. So let's move forward right now to how to actually set the goals. So I'm going to walk you through a new model that I developed. I developed this model about a year, okay, I think it's more than a year ago now. And I developed it because I was training a group of people in order to help their clients produce more results. So I needed to find a way to actually help people create better results. So that was when I first of all poured it out of my head. But I started practicing this as a way back as 2015. In fact, in 2015, when I decided I was going to get married within 1 year, it was September I think it was September 5, 2015, I decided I was going to get married within the next 365 days. So that means September 5, 2015 will expire by September 6, 2016. And interestingly, by September 3rd of that year, I was already married because I put this into practice. I wasn't teaching people. I was basically just doing it for myself. Again, that same 2015, I set a goal that I was going to make a certain amount of money for that year. And it took a friend of mine named Isaac to help me actually do all the calculations in order for me to even discover that I've actually crossed that goal as at the time we were checking, and it was even maybe like 2 months to the end of that goal, and I've already accomplished that goal. Now, when I say financial goal, it was actually in the millions, and I was able to cross it in about 10 to 11 months. I was able to cross it faster than that 12 months that I initially set. Again, I have applied this in several areas of my life, including this year. So this year, I got to that point where I knew that, okay, I've been running Audacity to Lead for a while, and having run Audacity to Lead for 5 years this 2019, I found out that I had grown so much and I was outgrowing the original mission of Audacity to Lead. And I found that because I was outgrowing the original mission of Audacity to Lead, I wanted to just take over Audacity to Lead and direct it where I wanted it to go. And I realized that no, that would actually have created a lot of confusion, and he actually did. A mentor of mine actually called me and said, wait, Dayo, what is Audacity to Lead really doing? And so when I became clear on that, I had to separate Audacity to Lead from a new organization that I'm creating called Dayo Samuel Institute of Transformational Training. So from this moment going forward, this channel is going to be filled with what is coming out from Dayo Samuel Institute of Transformational Training, much more than anything of Audacity to Lead. In fact, because I had that clarity, we were able to sit down, plan the things we need to do for 2020 for our organizations. And just to even give you a little hint to how this is effective, this 2019, when I started the year, I applied it, and of course, there's a way I usually set my goals. I don't set my goals in long stretch. You remember how I explained it to you just now, that that is take them in form of 90-day blocks. So you focus on, for the next 3 months, this is what you're going to focus on. And so, having accomplished all the things that I set out for myself, by June this year, I called my wife, who also doubles as our project manager at Audacity to Lead, and said, wait, between now and December, what do we need in order for us to have this business at a particular level, and also for this business to be able to pay us to be able to do certain things very well? And we came up with a plan. And about 3 weeks ago, about 3 or 2 weeks ago, while I was walking a particular group of people through what I'm about to walk you through, we calculated everything and we found that we were just a tiny amount of money to get to the financial goal we have set for the company. And so it now reinforced my decision to actually share it publicly. In fact, it was that time that I decided, okay, I'm going to actually teach this publicly for the first time to you, and that is why we are here on this Goals to Growth Mastery session. So if you have enjoyed this mastery session so far, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know that this has actually been helpful so far. I want to read your comments, so that's why I'm moving away from the screen. Okay, so Mibukun says, okay, financial building, great. Please, can someone type out the 12 areas so late comers? Okay, so Owosheje has typed it out for you. Thank you very much, Owosheje. Thank you for doing that. It's breaking quite frequently. Can someone? Okay, thank you for highlighting that. Thank you. Okay, so moving forward from here now, let's now get into how to actually really set the goals that you need to set for yourself. Now, this is very, very unusual, but it's a model that has worked for me and has worked for the people that I have taught. It has also worked for the people who I certified in order for them to be able to teach this to other people. It has also worked for the people that I have actually shared it with. In fact, let me even read some of the papers, some of the notes that people wrote to me from the last time I taught this in a physical class. And I mean, when I taught this in a physical class, so this person said, go setting class with I am Dayo Samuel is an eye-opening class for me. I could get reasons why I got frustrated on setting goals for New Year because I ended up not achieving them. Today I have a new perspective. Now you can look at it. You can look at the note. So you can see that it's actually practically handwritten. So he said, today I have new perspective to go setting and achieving them. And today I realize that my goals has been null and void for the past years because I'm not breaking through my roadblock to meet my target. Thank you, sir. And this is from somebody called Ojo. This is also another note coming in from someone called Emmanuel. So look at, you can see this is also another note coming in from somebody else. He said, I'm glad I attended this class by Mr. Dayo. My high point is overcoming procrastination. My high point is also that most of the things we are anxious for are just means, not the end. We should focus on end, not the means. I learned and discovered a new way of strategizing and creating my plans. And another person also wrote, I got clarity about my creative process. Breaking things down has helped me understood how crushing my goal isn't Herculean. After all, I can go on and read plenty of the papers to you, but the goal here is not to blow my own trumpet, neither is it to toot my horn. But the goal is to walk you through what you need to do. But then I needed to read that to you so that you can understand that this is something that has worked for quite a number of persons. And if you actually apply this, it's going to work for you. So if you're ready for that, let's get right into this. And this is just about 60 minutes in. So what you want to do right now is you want to pick another page in your notepad and you want to draw a big circle. So I'm going to draw all the circles here and then I'm going to walk you through what you really need to do. So first thing first is you want to look at, you want to label this circle reality. Actually, you don't even need to draw this. You may just follow me, just follow along. So what you want to do is you want to first of all identify your reality. And what I mean by your reality is, so from the 12 dimensions of life that we talked about just now, if you identified that money is one area you want to focus on for January, February, March, so you want to look at, okay, if finances is one area you want to focus on, you now want to say, okay, what is my current, so you want to write down current reality in terms of finances. So current reality in terms of love and relationships, or current reality in terms of quality of life. Quality of life. So what is your current reality? That's what I want you to first of all identify. What is your current reality? And when I talk about current reality in the area of finances, so for example, let me show you what I did, because while I do it for other people, I also do it for myself a lot. So if you can look at this note here, you can see here that said current reality. This was at one particular time, and if I'm correct, this should be around January. Okay, this was January 2nd of 2019. So that you understand that I also do it for myself. You can see my current reality at that time was in our company account we had 30,869. In my personal bank account I had 3,299. And then in another account, I have 38.31 naira. And YouTube subscribers are then, as of January, very interesting, YouTube subscribers as of January 2nd of 2019 were just 15 subscribers. And Instagram was just 2,488. Twitter was just 4,678. Email subscribers were just about 200 subscribers in the new email list that I had created then. Now you can see, I have my current reality. I know my current reality. So I'm not just deceiving myself saying that I want to set goals. I know specifically where I am first. So and the reason why is this, if you want to go anywhere, you need to first of all identify where you are. So if you are at wherever it is you are right now, if you want to come to Lagos or you want to go to Abuja or you want to go to Sokoto, from where you are, you need to first of all identify this is where you are. Even if you want to use Google Map, you need to first of all identify where you are. Google Map first of all identify where you are before it now starts showing you the direction to where you want to go to. So this is what you need to do. Look at your finances. If I'm just using finances as an example, it doesn't have to be the same. Of course, you saw my social media. I use my social media and I checked into my bank account. So depending on what you have picked as your goal for next 90 days for January, February, March. So if it is finances, you need to identify how much do I have in my current account, how much do I have in my savings account, how much do I have in my in all of my everywhere that I have money, how much do I have? So you need to first of all identify that. Then you want to now look at the second part of this model, which is the result. So here what you want to now look at is what will be an ideal result that I need to create in this particular area of my life that will make me feel fulfilled. Do you get that? So this is my current reality and this is the result I need to create. So when I saw 30,000 in our company bank account, then I said, okay, if that's all that we had as at January 2nd, 2019, and if I check my own personal bank account, I only had 3,000 in one account, 38 naira in another account. And I said, okay, I need to now know, okay, what do I want to create? So I identified the picture of an ideal result that I want to create. So what you need here is, what is going to be an ideal result? If your rating that time was 3, it means where do you want it to get to? So if your rating on that life dimension exercise that you did was 3, it means that between now and next year, you want to move it to about, let's say you want to move it to maybe 7 for next year. So if your finances is just 3,000 right now, it means that you want to move it to about 3,000 times 3,000. That is too big anyway. So you want to move it to about, let's say 300,000. Let's just say. So let's say you want to move it from, this is your current reality, 3,000. You want to move to 300,000 by the next 90 days. Do you get it now? So create that. What is your current reality? Then create your ideal result. So do that right about now. And let me quickly go through the comments down below so that I can actually see what's going on. Okay, the people are saying that it's really breaking. I think my network may be contributing to that. I don't know, but I hope that you are able to actually see it now. So sorry about the network breakage. Just please, sorry about the network breakage. Sorry about that, and I hope that now it's clearer. So. I hope that now it's clearer. Hopefully now it should be clearer. So hopefully now it should be clearer. Okay, so let's just look at it again just to be sure. Okay, that's done. If you have set your, so this now becomes the goal that you want to actually set that, okay, in the next 90 days, this is the result I want to have in this particular area. That's done. So that's done. Having created the result there, the next thing you want to do is you want to actually identify what is going to be a possible road block that is going to stop you from getting to this goal, from getting to this result. So just to explain that, sorry, let me quickly take a glass of water. So let me quickly take a glass of water. While I'm doing that, let this be on the screen. Okay, so I'm back. So the first thing you want to do is identify your current reality. Second is you want to identify what is going to be the result you want to create. Then the next thing you want to do is to identify a possible roadblock. So what is the thing that can stop you from going from this place to this place? And here's what I mean. What is it that this is where you want to get to? You want to go this way. But it's just as if, let's say you want to, of course, normally when people set goals, something usually stops them. So what you want to do is you want to identify what are the things that can stop you from achieving this goal. So if your current reality is, let's say 300,000 naira, and you say, okay, or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000, and you say your result is 100,000 or $300,000 or 300,000 naira is going to be your ideal over the next 90 days. The question you want to ask yourself is, what is going to stop you from getting to this 300,000 that you want to get to over the next 90 days? And so you want to write down everything you can think of, everything that comes to your mind when it comes to stopping you from achieving that goal. Some of you, the thing that will stop you is just you. It's basically just you. You see the way I'm looking at you right now. Some of the things that may just stop you may just be you. Another thing that could stop you could be procrastination. Another thing that could stop you would be maybe overwhelm, stress. It could be anything. Now, typically, because I work a lot with people in therapy and coaching, what stops them the most usually happens to be emotional. For example, procrastination is an example. While people think that procrastination is a time management problem, I have found that, in fact, research even shows that procrastination is an emotional problem. Anytime you procrastinate on something, ask yourself or look at it this way. Was it that you didn't have time to do it, or you didn't feel like doing it? So you find that procrastination is not really a time management problem. It's not that you are not managing your time well, that's why you are postponing it. It's because you really didn't feel like doing it. So if you feel like doing it, or you are able to put yourself into a state that gets you to do something, you find that you actually do it with a lot of ease. So that might be a roadblock that you need to overcome. So identify all the possible roadblocks that you may experience. So identify all of them. And as you identify that, it is very important that I also get some things clear to you. Are you still with me? 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 So if you are still with me, please say yes in the comments, let me know. If you are still with me, say yes in the comments, let me know. So if you are still with me, say yes in the comments, let me know that you are still with me. So say yes in the comment, let me know that you are still with me. Comment yes, comment yes, comment yes, let me know that you are still with me. Let me know that you are still with me. Okay, I'm watching out for your comments. So please leave a comment down below. Let me know that you are still with me, that you are still with me, that you're still with me, that you're still with me. Okay, great. Let's just jump right in. So what you now want to do is, if you want to go from here to here, this is where you actually create your goals. This is where you actually set goals. And it is important to understand that when you set goals, there are two kinds of goals. There are means goals and there are end goals. So what people usually do is they focus on the means, they don't try to think of the end. So for example, if making 300,000 naira is a goal you have, that is, this is your current reality, this is the result you want to create. You want to create 300,000 naira, or let's even say 5 million naira is going to be your goal. But then, just for the case of this training, I'm going to use 300,000. So let's say 300,000 is going to be the result you want to create by the next 90 days. You want to add, that is only a means goal. You want to ask yourself, if I get the 300,000 naira, what is going to be the end? That is, to what end is this 300,000 naira? How is it going to make my life feel? How am I going to feel achieving this 300,000 naira? So this here, you want to identify it specifically. You want to pay attention to it. So if you achieve 300,000 naira, Is it going to make you feel more proud of yourself? Is it going to make you, is it going to help you to provide for your family? Is it going to help you create the quality of life that you want? Is it going to help you make certain things happen for yourself? That is exactly what you want to focus on as your end goal. So while making money is the means is only to get to an end. That needs to be clear. So identify that this is only a means to an end. Money is only a means to an end. Getting into a relationship is only a means to an end. Or maybe increasing my quality of life is only a means to an end. Whether it's spiritual, deepening your spiritual relationship is only a means to an end. That is not the end in itself. So you need to identify what is going to be that end goal and identify clearly what that end is. So again, what I've just shared here is you want to, since you are going from reality to a result, that is where goal comes in. So this now becomes your goal. You now say, okay, this is a means goal, this is an end goal. The means is to lead me to the end. The means is what you are setting as your 3 months plan, but the end is what, let me call it this way, the state of mind, the state of being that you get into that allows you to enjoy this means. Do you get it now? So for example, when I was explaining the 3 types of goal, I mentioned B. So this is the B type of goal, while this is only the do or have type of goal. So if you want to make $300,000 or 300,000 naira over the next 90 days, to what end? How is that going to change your life? What will that do for you? That is what you need to actually write down as your end goal. So you notice what I'm explaining here. You are trying to get to a point, but then getting to that point is only because you want to accomplish something at a deeper level. Something at a deeper level, which is for you to actually have this end. So this end, you need to have it in the picture right about now while you are setting the goal. The reason why that is important is because, you know, when you set a goal, and the only reason why you set goal is because you just want to make money. If you don't make the money, it won't affect you. And if you make the money, it might not even change anything anyway. So what you want to do is you want to look at it this way. If the goal is to make money, when I make this money, how will this money change my life? What will this money do for me? Do you get it now? So if you make 300,000 naira, for example, will it help you have a better family? Will it help you have a better quality of life? Will it help you improve the kind of things you do, the kind of things you have, the kind of person you are? So that is the end. That is very, very important. So I want you to kind of right now pen that down while I look at your comments as well again. Oh, sorry, you said my voice is breaking. Sorry about that. I hope that my voice is clearer now. Okay, the internet connection has resumed being unstable, so I hope he gets to stop that shortly. Okay, my internet connection is stable back, so there should not be any complaint any further. So I hope that you've been able to see what I've done so far. Let me see if I can try and scribble it on my screen here. Let me see if I can try and scribble it on my screen here so that you can actually see what I have done. So I said, draw a circle. Okay. Let me see. Let me delete that. Okay, what I should have done should be to have written, okay, your goal needs to have a means and an end. I don't know how I can be typing and be doing all of that at once. So let me just go back to what I'm doing. It's not easy to actually type on that device right now. So identify exactly your means. That is, this result you want to create is only a means to an end. So identify that end right about now. So write down that end. Then once you have done that, you want to now look at, okay, this is your reality. This is the roadblock. How do you cross this roadblock? How do you bypass this roadblock? Now, in order to bypass this roadblock, this is where you need what I call, or this is where the idea of grow comes in. So this is, okay, so that you can see it clearly, let me write it bolder. Let me write it bolder so that you can see it. It looks like it's small there. So that you can see it clearly. I said you are coming this way, so you want to so that will be what you want to focus on here. So remember that you are going from here to this side. Your mission is, if you are going from your current reality to your results, this is where you now have your goal. This is where you set the goal. This is where you are setting the goal. So you have the means goal, which is to make more money. The end goal is to do something at a deeper level, something truly meaningful to you. Now, you now come to your current reality. This is your current reality, and this is the roadblock that you are experiencing. So how can you then beat this roadblock? How can you bypass this roadblock? How can you succeed despite this roadblock? And that is where you need to now begin to focus on something more important, which is where I'm going to actually guide you through another thing very, very fast. So let me look at the comments again. Okay, I hope that you can get to watch it again too. I hope that you can also get to watch it again too. Because truly, like I said, this is not so much of teaching, is actually you walking through it. The best is that you can actually walk through it directly like this. So, and the reason why I'm saying directly like this, so that I can actually answer your questions as we go on. For example, I'm answering you right now. If you are watching it again as a replay, of course, you can leave comments. That's also fine as well. Okay, so moving forward, when you have your reality and then you want to cross the roadblock, what do you need to do? You need to grow. And when I say grow, it means that you need to grow your person. But more importantly, grow is also a technique. It's also a tool that you can use to actually achieve your goals. Okay, so good. Now it's clearer. So grow. So what you want to do is, first of all, you want to identify what the goal is. So you want to identify what the goal is. Okay, first of all, you want to identify what the goal is. And secondly is you want to identify the reality. So remember that we have done this, we have identified the goal already, which is the goal here, which is to make 300,000 naira, or to make $200,000. The reality is that you are here. This is where you currently are. You are maybe at 3,000 naira. You only have 3,000 naira in all of your accounts. So that's your current reality. Now, in order to go from this reality to bypass this roadblock, you want to create what I call O, which basically means that options, or you can say opportunities. So you can call it option or you call it opportunities. And when I say options, what you want to look at here is, what are the things that you need to do in order, or what are the things you can explore? What are the opportunities that can open up to you that will help you to get to this goal of 300,000? So the opportunities, what I usually recommend is for you to come up with a minimum of 5 things that you can do that will help you to get to this. So if you say 5 things you need to come up with, so you look at it, you say, okay, number 1, under options here, you look at, okay, in order to get to 300,000, what do you need to do? So I'm using the example of finances anyway. If it is love and relationship, what are the options? How can you get to have the kind of relationship you want to have? This is where you actually begin to break it down into things that you need to do, or how you need to grow past the roadblock. That's what we are saying. So here, you want to look at 300,000 naira. You want to look at, okay, first I can get a job. Second, I can start a business. I can say, okay, let me start a business. Third, I can say, okay, let me sell courses. I can say, let me sell books. Or I can say, let me offer services. So let me offer services. What kind of services? Okay, in my own case, I'm a graphic designer, of course. I do media related work. I do publishing. I publish books for people. I do video productions. Services. I do therapy. I coach. So coaching, all of these are now services that you can offer to people under options. Do you get it now? So you are now looking at all the options that you can use to get to this 300,000. Now, at these options, these are the options, right? What you also want to do is now look at it this way. So this is part one. So this is step one of options. Step two of options is now to break this 300,000 naira, $300,000 down into granulated format. And by that, you want to break it down into tiny bits that make it easier for you to achieve. So let me see if this thing is zoomable. If I can zoom in. Okay, good. So I can actually zoom in, but I'm not sure the zooming in will be clear. So let me zoom out back. So let me zoom out back. Let me see if I can actually move this entirely. Okay, good. So good. So here you are looking at you are looking at all of these. So that's the first part. Second part is you want to now look at, okay, if you want to make 300,000, if it is financial goal, what I usually recommend is for you to bring out your calculator. And at this point, you begin to break down the numbers. This is one thing that I have actually done successfully. So it helps me to know exactly how much I need to make per time in order for me to go closer to that goal. So for example, if your goal is to make 300,000, this means that you want to look at it 300,000. You will need to do a business you will need to do one business that gets you 300,000 so that you can see it clearly. If you use, let me use the math that is easy for me in my head, 150,000, you only need to do 2 of these. If you do 100,000, you only need to do 3 of these. If you do 50,000, you only need to do 6 of these. If you do 20,000, you only need to do 15 of these. If you do 10,000, you only need to do 30 of these. If you do 15,000, so to say, you only need to do 20 of these. So what that means is that if you break it down completely, if you break it down well enough, you will see exactly how much you need to offer all of these services here, all of these options that you can explore. You now see that, okay, this now provides the opportunity for you to now access everything you are doing here. So that each time you offer this service, each time you sell a book, each time you produce a course, each time whether you start a business, whether you take up a job, you can see clearly that this is what these things need to be. So for example, if I'm offering graphic design, for example, it means that I can't go less than a particular amount here. So it might mean that my graphic design now needs to be 10,000 naira, and I only need to do 30 graphic in order for me to meet my goal. Or if it is media services, I say, okay, let's say media services 300,000 naira. All I would need for me to meet my goal will just be to offer that service once for a client. If it is book publishing, for example, I say, okay, my book publishing is 150,000 naira. It means I only need to look for 2 clients in order for me to get to my goal. If it is therapy, for example, if I say therapy is 100,000 naira, I only need to get 3 clients in order for me to reach my goal. If it is coaching, for example, let's say I say coaching is 100,000 naira, I only need to have just 3 clients in order for me to reach my goal. So all that we'll now be focusing on will be next year or in the next 90 days, what I will be doing will be to ensure that I get the clients who can pay this amount. So any client who's not ready to pay any of this amount, I can easily let that client go, because while I'm interested in helping that client, the client is not interested in helping me get to my own goal. So, a transaction usually is a win-win. A transaction should not be a win and lose. You should be able to get the money that takes you closer to where you are going, but you should also be able to provide the service, the quality of service that is also able to take the clients closer to where they are going. Of course, they are moving from a reality to a result too. And you are moving from a reality to a result too. So you need to be able to break down your numbers this much so that you can have enough clarity. This amount of clarity is very, very, very powerful, because by the time you have this, you know exactly how much you need to be charging. You know exactly what you need to be spending money on. If you need to spend money in order to get the kind of client that can pay that amount of money, then you know that, okay, this is exactly what you need to be doing. And so you'll not be wasting your energies on having social media that does not produce the quality of result that you are looking for. Now, if this is not looking clear, sorry about that. I'm trying to adjust the entire board back So I hope this is clear at this point. So let me know if this is clear at this point. Let me jump into the comment. And so again, I hope that you are still with me. If you are still with me, please let me know. I can see that we still have about 7 people watching. And I hope that you're actually doing exactly what you need to do. Because as I mentioned earlier on, this is not for you to be able to, it's not me teaching, it's walking you through everything you need to do for you to actually accomplish the results that you are looking for. So that said, once you are able to create all of this, you are able to come up with the options, and then you are able to break down the numbers in order to create the opportunities that you need. This thing needs to be clearer so that I can see myself. Okay, good. Okay, so I think I need to adjust something here as well. So while, okay, good. So I think I've adjusted it. So let me just leave it hanging. Good. Good, 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 good. Okay, so now moving forward again, after you've been able to do this, the fourth part of this grow is way forward. So what you now need to do is you now select way forward. Way forward simply means what is the next plan of action? What is the next thing that you need to do in order for you to actually move closer to from this reality and break through this roadblock? So you now look at way forward. Now, way forward here simply means, okay, from all of these options that I've come up with and from all of these opportunities I've created here, which of them am I going to start with as the first option? And then which of them am I going to do next? So you now look at it this way. Okay, so here right now, what can I quickly start with? Of course, service. In my own case, service may be the first thing that can quickly take me closer to this. So it means that for the next 90 days, service will be what I'm going to explore everything anyway, because I personally love exploration. I'm going to explore everything anyway. But it means that service is what I'm going to quickly put out there. I'm going to get started with immediately. Then I can now look at it, okay, what else can I do again? So it means that if I come up with a plan like this with opportunities, create my own options like this, I am basically dictating how I want this result to be. So even procrastination, getting in the way or whatever other things may not eventually stop me, because this time around, I'm not subject to, life is not just what's happening. I'm the one that is beginning to design my entire year. I'm the one that is working out my own salvation. Do you get it now? So having done that, we now need to move on to the next part, which is how do you go from this roadblock to the result? That is, having broken through this roadblock, how do you now go to the result? So this is where I call go. So now you want to go from this roadblock to the result that you are looking for. What I have written here is go, G-O. So this is where you want to ask yourself, if I do this and accomplish this and get to this end, how happy am I going to be? If I'm able to take action on this plan that I've just everything that I've just designed here right now, if I'm able to take action on it, how will I feel? And then you also want to ask yourself, if I'm able to do everything that I've just highlighted here, now you notice that with this amount of clarity is no longer overwhelming. It's now very easy for you to actually do, because now you have clear laid out plan that you can follow. And then you now ask yourself, okay, if this is what I need to do, how will I feel if I actually get started on this? If I get to achieve this result, what will my life look like? I want to write down everything. Now, that automatically brings you back to this end goal. Can you remember? So it automatically brings you back to this end goal. So you have this end goal again. Then you want to ask yourself again, if I don't accomplish all of this, how will I feel? Because we are naturally motivated by either pain or by pleasure. So you need to be aware of the pain that is involved, as well as be aware of the pleasure that is ahead. And let one of them motivate you. So it's either you disappoint yourself and disappoint your family if money, for example, happens to be yours, and providing this money is going to help you take care of your family as the end result. And you say, okay, what will happen if I achieve this? What will happen if I achieve this? And you say, well, I'm going to be able to take care of my family very well. I'm going to be able to care for the people who truly matter in my life. And you write that down. You now ask yourself, What will happen if I don't achieve this goal? It means that I will not be able to take care of my family. It means I'm not going to be able to take care of myself. It means that the kind of things that I'm looking forward to have over the next 90 days will not be possible because I didn't take action. I didn't do something about my goals. This is exactly what I want you to walk through this time around. Because the thing is, I can come here and teach you 25, 40, 30 steps for you to achieve your goals, and you still probably be where you are, and next year you just be where you are, and 90 days from now you'll still be the same person that you have always been. But when you follow a model, when you follow this that I've shared with you, you can see that you practically have been able to break through everything all at once. And of course, for those of you who are asking that what is the meaning of goals to growth, it means that the goals here become avenues for you to grow so that you can actually go from where you are to where you want to be. Now, this is a mastery session, and as I have shared with you earlier on, the goal is for you to the goal of every mastery session that I'm going to be having on this channel. Now, the thing is, if you are yet to subscribe, please go ahead and subscribe, because of course, you can see that this is not something that you'll find everywhere, so that you can receive content like this. My goal with every video I release on this channel is to help you make more money with less stress, less anxiety, with much more clarity, that you will be able to actually break through whatever it is that may stop you. If it is fear, if it is stress, if it's anxiety, if it's overwhelm, and to do this with a lot of sanity. So, just to get back to what I mentioned earlier on, I talked about leverage for leaders. Now, leverage for leaders is a 7-month mastermind that I'm putting together. Now, this is the first time I'm actually bringing out publicly. This is the first time I'm actually sharing it with you. So, if you want to be a part of Leverage for Leaders, just comment down below. Let me know that you want to be a part of Leverage for Leaders, and I'm going to reply you. Of course, if you have my email currently, you can actually send me an email. If you have my contact, you can also reach me as well about Leverage for Leaders. Now, in Leverage for Leaders, I'm going to hold you accountable such that everything you have designed here, I'm going to hold you accountable so that you can walk through them step by step without stress, without overwhelmed, without anxiety. Of course, you know that usually when people set up plans like that, they get overwhelmed. So in Leverage for Leaders, every week, we are going to work together such that you know that this week, this is what I need to work on. Next week, this is what I need to work on. And then there's also accountability in place such that when you come back next week, I am personally asking you that, okay, last week you said you were going to do this. Have you been able to do it? What stopped you from not doing it? Okay, what is the success you achieved last week? How can we celebrate what you've done so far? And then, of course, for the next 7 months, we only look at 7 focus areas. So that means that if you have set goals, if you find 7 different places that you found that you need to work on, there are things that will work on one after the other. Now, this is not a teaching mastermind. It's not even a course. It's not an online course. It is basically you and me and a few other persons getting on a call every week in order for you to actually go closer to the goal that you have set for yourself. So it's not so much of me teaching or talking. It's basically me walking you through the roadblocks that may stop you. And it's not, like I said, it's not so much of teaching. So we get to have Q&A sessions. We get to have private workshops. If you need to improve your skill, if you need to learn something that you need to learn, there will be sessions and workshops like that will handle that. And of course, I'm going to provide professional support, coaching, therapy to you as a member of that mastermind. And then you'll be able to multiply your performance. You'll be able to handle distractions. In case you are distracted from running after your goals, we'll be able to work on those distractions so as to keep you in focus throughout those 7 months. Now, we are starting by, where's the date? I'm trying to identify the date here. We are starting actually in January. So if you want to be a part of this, the goal of Leverage for Leaders is for you to win in life and to win in business so that you can win all around. So we are going to help you improve your productivity. You are going to overcome stuckness so you will not be stuck. And more importantly, the weekly mastermind is going to help you be more accountable to achieving your goal. So if that is interesting to you, please, you can leave a comment down below. If you don't have my direct contact, I'm going to provide more information, or you can basically just send me a direct message or send me an email. Interestingly, my email is iam@dayosamuel.com. iam@dayosamuel.com. That is my email. You can find me on all social media at you can find me on all social media, as you can see on my screen right here, at I am Dayo Samuel. That is my social media everywhere. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but I prefer YouTube and Instagram anyway, because those allow me a little more privacy and to answer people more privately. So now, at this point, I want to take your questions. I want to look at the questions that you have. So if you have questions right about now, so please go ahead and post your questions. Let me have your questions right about now while I take a little gulp of water here. So post your questions. Let me have your questions in the comments, and let me see what I can answer here. And if you have enjoyed this mastery session so far, please be kind enough to at least put in some cool, kind words so that I can know if I have done an excellent job. And like a friend of mine, Jeff Brown, used to say that you are picking up what I'm pouring down. You are picking up what I'm putting down. So let me know. So let me read the comments now. Okay, let me see. So the charts are showing, but the video is not playing. I really hope you can watch this again. You should be able to watch it again. Of course, you should be able to watch it again. You should be able to watch it again. Almost, in fact, immediately after this mastery session, you can basically just pick it up from here again. And then you can go to wherever it is you feel you have missed out. My hope is just that I hope I've been able to provide sufficient guide to you for this particular mastery session. I hope I've been able to provide sufficient guide to you for this particular mastery session. I love what is going on here in the comments. I love what's going on in the comments. So thank you very, very much. So with that said, I'm going to be going off right about now. So with this said, I'm going to be going off in the next couple of minutes or maybe seconds. And I just want to say thank you very much for giving me your time. I've spent the last 1 hour, 42 minutes with you. And I want to say thank you very, very much. I do not take this for granted. I'm really glad that I'm able to provide this level of interesting insights, this level of training, this level of practical work to you. I'm glad that I'm able to provide it. If there's any part of this that's not clear to you, please drop a comment down below. Let me know that there's a part that's not clear to you, and hopefully I'll be able to expand further on that. With that said, I want to say thank you so very much. I am Dayo Samuel, and my mission is to help you make more money with less stress while overcoming your deepest fears, deepest worries, deepest anxieties. If I've been able to do that in this particular video, please go ahead and subscribe down below. Please be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any content coming out from my channel every single week going forward. Now, as I mentioned earlier on that I was going to talk about some of the things that I've been able to do this year. Well, this year, like I mentioned earlier on, I started this year off with my YouTube channel just being there, and it was just 15 subscribers. And my goal was that by the end of this year, I would have grown this channel in multiple folds. As of right now, it's about 373 subscribers right now, as at this moment. And I believe that it was initially 360 something before I started this live stream. So this moment now, it's now about 373 subscribers. So I think even me, I deserve to celebrate myself. So you can see, there was a reality, there was a result I wanted to create. And the roadblock was for me to be able to put out content regularly and to also break through some of the challenges many YouTubers face. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job. So again, be sure to subscribe down below. Don't leave this video without subscribing. In fact, help me reach 1,000 subscribers as fast as possible. Now, if you have enjoyed this as well, please share with somebody that you know it will be of benefit to them. With that said, thank you very, very much. This is 1 hour 44 minutes 50 seconds. And I will say bye-bye. Thank you so very much for joining me. I am Dayo Samuel. I'll see you in the next video.